If you're having issues squatting, if you're feeling tightness in your hips during squatting or tightness to your back, keep watching. I'm going to show you some exercises on how you can warm up properly for the squat. Hey guys, I'm Dr. Will from Miami Spine and Performance here in Hollywood, Florida. I'm going to show you guys a couple ways that you can warm up your hips prior to squatting, or if you're somebody that's sitting in the car all day. I know if you're in South Florida, traffic is terrible right now. You got school traffic and everything else. So here are a couple exercises you can do at home to make your hips happy, which is going to make your back happy, which is going to make you happy. So number one, we're going to do what's called the world's greatest stretch. I didn't call it this, someone else did, but we're going to be in this lunge position here, okay? And I really like to just explore this position. So first what I'll do is I'll just kind of drop my hand and my elbow in here. For those of you that are super flexible, you'll be able to get your elbow down to the table. As you can see, that's not in the cards for me today. But from here, I'm just going to kind of open up that upper back, feed through. I can feed this arm through. I can feed this arm through. But I want you guys to just hang out in this position, drive that knee out. You should feel a good stretch in the front of this left hip and then in the groin on the right side. So to me, this, if I could only have one stretch, this is the one, right? You can stand up straight. Again, we're going to do kind of the windmill motion here. Get the upper back involved. Go to the other leg, same thing. Depending on, each leg, you might feel different stuff. So you got to play around and make the stretch really individual to yourself. Kelly Starrett talks about, being in, positions and body positions and just exploring through there. So instead of being strict with your stretching, just find positions and just kind of work from there. So for me, I'm going to do some windmills here. Again, get some mobility in the back, and I feel really good with this. So again, guys, anywhere from 1 minute to 2 minutes per side, and that's a really good start. So number two, we're going to get in this 90-90 position. So this is one that I use in the office a lot with patients. The hip joint is a ball and socket joint, so that means that it rotates. So it's really important that we have good rotation of the hip, okay? So from this position, again, I'm just going to explore around. So here I feel a really good stretch in the outside of my left hip. Bring your chest down and just kind of fold over that front leg. And I like to keep my stretches really active and dynamic. Even if I'm going to hang out here for 2 minutes, I'm constantly moving around and scouring. If I want, I can just sort of lay down for a minute or so and just kind of let that hip unwind. Then you'll go to the other side. Same thing. Most people have, because their pelvis is rotated a little bit, they'll find that one side will feel more comfortable than the other. So like for me, this is a little less comfortable on this hip, but more comfortable back here because I have a little bit of rightward rotation of my pelvis. So I'm just going to come through here, stretch. Maybe I'll turn towards the back leg, get my torso upright, really fold over here. And like here, I feel a great stretch. So I might hang out here for 30 seconds, but again, guys, for these positions, what you want to do is, set your phone for 2 minutes, get into the position, and then just explore, right? That's how you get to know your body. And every day is going to be a little bit different, right? Depending on what type of stresses you had that day, you might need to stretch your hip into one position, whereas a different day you might need to stretch into another position, okay? So number three, I'm going to work the frog stretch. So a lot of times people have trouble with squatting, getting good depth, and it's because of tightness in their groin and their adductors. So I'll just sit back like this and fall into my hips, and I'm almost kind of in that bottom of a squat position, right? So I'm almost in a horizontal squat here. And again, same rule applies. I'm just going to scour around, right? I'm going to hang out in this position, maybe get my lats involved, get my lower back involved. You can even lean back, get the quads a little bit, open up the front of the hip flexors, and just really work in these positions back and forth. So I'll spend about 2 minutes here. Maybe I'll just spend some time here and do some deep breathing, try to get my back released. And that feels really good. So the last one we're going to work is not going to be for the hip, but actually for the ankle. So a lot of times people have issues with squatting because their ankle dorsiflexion, which is the ability to bring the knees over the toes, is limited. So then they're forced to kind of sit back and drop their torso versus sitting straight down to their butt. So a really good thing to do is just kind of plant your foot here, and then I'll just rock forward on that ankle, okay? And I'll go inside the big toe, I'll go over the big toe, I'll go outside the foot, and I'll just kind of rock back and forward on the ankle. You can also attach a band here to the back or the front and get a little bit of joint distraction. The most important thing in this position is going to be that you need to keep your heel down. Now, if I go here and I start stretching like this, well, now I'm not really mobilizing my ankle, I'm cheating. So you have to keep your heel down and then hang out. If you want, I can just hang out here for a minute or two, right? I'm feeling a really good stretch down by the Achilles and the muscle called the soleus. So I'll just hang out here. People might put a kettlebell here or something and just mobilize that ankle. Same thing on the other side. Just hang out. Just rest over this leg and let that soleus release. And then I'll go in and I'll do my active stuff. So if you're somebody that's doing CrossFit or you're doing back squatting or even leg press or goblet squats or lunges, any lower body exercise that requires you to be mobile, these are some great exercises you can do prior to lifting, post lifting, or on off days. So again, we have the world's greatest stretch, we have the 90-90, we have the frog stretch, and then we have the ankle mobilization. So give those a try, guys, before your next squat workout, and let us know how it goes. Thanks.